Good afternoon from Wilson Park. Scrappers step out of conference this afternoon, getting ready to play the Fouke Panthers. Scrappers put away the Hope Bobcats easily yesterday in a conference game, 16-7. Go to Hope Friday. We're not on B99.5. If you're listening or watching, you're watching on the YouTube live stream. And we didn't get on with the pregame, so we'll catch you up as we go along. Jaden Goodson is the Scrapper pitcher, the first batter for the Fouke Panthers in their purple uniform, their second baseman, Dawson Oliver. First pitch, a strike down the middle. I'm Johnny Wilson, JT Carter alongside. Frank's not here this afternoon. We'll have all the action for you. And the ball goes outside, and JT, looking at my scorecard, these teams played earlier this year. Scrappers won 6-2, sent 10 to the plate and scored 5 in the first inning as a one-hopper to the second baseman, Hutchison. He picks it up, throws to Kirby with one out.
Yeah, in that first game, like you said, they roughed up the first pitcher, and then a new pitcher came in, and he set him down. I think it was
16 out of 17.
Yeah.
We scored a run, had a walk, 2 stolen bases, and an error, the only base run the Scrappers had after the first inning. Really unusual scorecard. This is our catcher, Joshua Scoggins. Their shortstop, Carson Chandler, is on deck. And Goodson throws a curveball up for ball 1. Chase Rico coaches at first. Their head coach, Jace Ritter, is at third. Kyle Slayton calling balls and strikes. Josh Ray at first, Slade Slayton at third. Got a 3-man crew this afternoon. And a ball goes low.
It's always a blessing when you can get a 3-man crew in a high school game and it's not the playoffs.
Yeah, I think Coach Stewart said some of these guys are going to be calling regionals, and they've been used to working 2-man crews, just working on their mechanics a little bit, get a 3-man crew. And a quick walk by Goodson to Scoggins. Fouke comes in at 5-5. Got a reputation as a solid 3A baseball program, JT.
Yeah, you know, Fouke's always hanging around in there, and they're going to battle tough today. We'll see what the Scrappers can do.
And a ball outside, and Goodson can't find the plate. I'll set the Scrapper defense for you after this pitch. Run at first, 1 out. And now strike. Green's the catcher. Honey's at third, Arnold at short, Hutchison at second, Kirby at first. Outfield around left to right, it's Boone, Gray, and Chambers in right. Hayden Gray moves over from his usual right field spot. He's patrolling center field today. Absolutely perfect afternoon here for our baseball. There goes the runner. And Green can't hold the ball. As he tries to transfer it to his throwing hand, it pops out. And Scoggins gets a stolen base. So a runner at first and 1 out. Again, we're only on the live stream today. No broadcast on B99.5, and a strike over the outside edge by Goodson. And a good breaking ball, and Chandler spoils it and stays alive. Big day in the district yesterday, and will be Friday, JT. You'll have the Scrappers and Hope at Hope, but Arkadelphia want a squeaker over to the Queen. They're trying to run the table. They're 7-0 all of a sudden.
Yeah, they had a big win yesterday. Gabe Owens pitched 114 pitches for them yesterday, pitched all 8 innings, and they came out on top 3-2 in the extra frame there.
Nashville 5-2, the Queen 4-3, Magnolia 3-4. As the pitch goes low to the batter, Carson Chandler.
And I'm not exactly sure why, but Magnolia and Fairview are playing tomorrow, not Friday.
Some teams, in a swing and a defensive swing and a foul, some teams are out of school on Good Friday, as Nashville is, and sometimes they move those games up a day.
That's a good point.
Infield and outfield straight away, just getting started here at Nashville. Early start today, started at 4. Scrapperettes out of conference. They start at 4:30, and there's a fly ball to right. Let's see if Chambers can track it down. It can't, and the ball drops in fair. One run will score, and the batter will go to third. And he slides in safely, and now a throwing error, but Honey retrieves it. Goodson was backing up home, but the throw came to third. So a triple. Chambers gave it all he had then, but it fell about 5 feet fair.
Yeah, Carson was running as hard as he could, but that ball just wasn't staying up in the air long enough for him to get underneath, and it falls down. And with that ball fading away to the right side, the batter's all the way over to third base.
So as I look at my scorecard here from the last game, it's the Scrappers won 6-2. Panthers took a 1-0 lead. Scrappers sent 10 to the plate in the first. And then, like we said, they had one more base runner the rest of the game. Scrapper infield back. They'll concede the run. Swinging a foul. This is their cleanup hitter, their third baseman, Jackson McMurray. Terrell Robinson bats 5th. Sawyer Jones 6th. River Dobson 7th. K.O. Williamson, he's the pitcher, bats 8th. And the left fielder, Josh Procello, hits 9th. And just low. Two balls and a strike. The runner that scored got a free pass. It scores on the triple. Tapper back to Goodson, looks the runner back, and a good big out for that second out for the Scrappers in, JT.
Yeah, good job by the sophomore Jaden Goodson there. He took that big hop, checked his runner at third, made sure he wasn't going anywhere, and fired a good shot over to first base and gets the second out of the inning.
The center fielder, number 7, Terrell Robinson.
So now Goodson's got a chance to get out of this inning with no further damage. As the right-handed hitting center fielder Terrell Robinson comes to the plate. Big breaking ball goes outside, ball 1. Goodson working from a set position, throws and right back to him, almost knocks him down. He picks it up, and let's see if Goodson's hurt. He's limping around out there, and I mean, that was a shot. I think it hit him in maybe the thigh, I don't know. Coach Stewart is out there taking a look. He's limping off the field, but had the presence of mind to pick it up and throw him out. But in the first, the Panthers break on top. They score 1 run on a hit, no errors, and a runner left. Scrappers come to the plate. They trail 1-0. We'll be right back on live stream YouTube. We'll have the Scrapper batting order for you when we come back.
Bottom of the first inning, the left fielder, number 3, Luke.
Scrapper batting order: Luke Boone leading off, playing left. Then Hayden Gray, Carson Kirby, Carson Chambers, Mason Honey, Gage Green, Peyton Fritz, Madden Arlen, Zeus Hutchison. They face the right-hander, Cale Williamson. If you were listening in the top of the first, after Williamson's first pitch, Boone hits a two-hopper. First baseman gets it. He'll have to hurry, and a good job by Williamson covering the plate. The first baseman, Sawyer Jones, ranged far to his right. Williamson got off the mound good, and a one pitch and one out as Boone rolls out 3-1.
That was a good job by the first baseman and the pitcher there. As the first baseman had to move quite a ways to his right, and the pitcher came over and covered. Good job there.
Hayden Gray, he shows bunt, and they remember Gray, their third baseman, McMurray. He's in about 2 steps on the grass. If you're listening in the top of the first, Scrappers beat Fouke 6-2 way earlier in the season. And the Scrappers scored 5 in the first, had 1 base runner after that. And the young man, Cale Williamson, he was the guy that was doing all the damage to the Scrappers innings 2 through 7, JT.
Yeah, it sure would be nice if they could get to him early today.
And Gray takes a ball inside.
And Hayden got the right idea here, working the count, trying to make him throw as many pitches as he can, see as many pitches as he can.
Scrappers try to get deep in the count. I don't know Fouke's conference schedule as Gray takes a strike. Makes the count 3-1. But probably they have a conference game either Thursday or Friday. Ground ball foul past Coach Stewart. He waves at it and it goes into the left field corner. Todd Ledford in the first base coaching box. Zach Stewart over at third for the Scrappers. Coach Aaron Worthen controls them in the dugout. Gray hits it up in the air. Center fielder takes a couple of steps to his right and camps under. And 2 quick outs for the Scrappers. We'll see if Jaden Goodson comes back out. Scrappers have someone in the bullpen now. Last out of the inning, Goodson took a line shot right off his thigh. Picked up the ball, got the runner out, but Goodson limped out, and it was not a soft line drive
No,
either.
sir. I guarantee you that one came off every bit of 85 miles an hour plus. It was hard hit.
Here's Kirby, takes a strike high over the outside edge. They pull around to the right side for the left-handed hitting first baseman. High all the way back to the screen, evens the count at 1-1. Carson Chambers on deck. He retrieves the ball, gives it to the umpire.
Yeah, I saw Jaden throw a few pitches, but then it looks like John Wallace is warming up pretty quickly out there.
Ground ball to first, and the Scrappers will go easily 1-2-3. Kirby hit it hard, but right at the first baseman, Sawyer Jones, who steps on the bag. And 1-2-3 go the Scrappers. The Panthers bounce into the dugout. Goodson coming back to the mound. We'll see how he feels. See if the injury hurts him. We'll be back in 1 minute with the bottom of the, the top of the second inning. Fouke up 1-0. We'll be right back. Left-hand hitting first baseman Sawyer Jones leading off the second. Fouke scored a run in the first, got a walk and a triple, and Goodson throws just inside ball one. Foul ball right back here against the net. Evens the count at 1-1. Their right fielder, River Dobson's on deck. And a high fastball, and Jones takes a rip and comes up empty.
Goodson doesn't seem to be favoring anything out there, so that's good.
Looks good the first 2 or 3 pitches here. And a good breaking ball, and Jones spoils it way out front, but fouls it right back here. It might hurt more this time tomorrow than it does today, JT.
Kind of like a car accident, you know. The first day you got all that adrenaline, the next day it hurts.
Little ground ball to second. Hutchinson in quickly and underhands it to Kirby for the out. Got the ball in on Jones' hands, and a weak ground ball to second.
Yeah, good job there by Carson Kirby to read that. He started to go over for it and then realized that Zeus had a better read at it, so he let him get it, and Zeus flipped it over to him for the first out of the inning.
Here's the pitch. And a good fastball, maybe the best fastball Goodson's thrown today. If you're watching on live stream, you see these Panthers in their all-purple uniform. I kind of like them. If they were playing the Savannah Bananas, we'd have a little color out there, JT.
Yeah, for
Two
sure.
Hopper to Mahoney, and he throws him out.
You know,
The
we
Bananas there in all yellow, it'll be a good contrast.
I saw where they're going to be on Disney Plus, some of their games.
Man, they sell out everywhere. They had a couple of dates in St. Louis earlier that got weathered out, and they changed to June, but it was sold out at Busch Stadium. They're going to play in a couple of football stadiums. I think they're going to play in Clemson Stadium, maybe at Tennessee's. Here's K.O. Williamson, the pitcher. Let's see how Mr. Williamson hits as he takes a ball outside. Goodson trying to have a clean inning here as he's retired the first 2 on ground balls. Just low. Ball 2. Williamson hits 8th. Their 9th place hitter, center fielder Josh Prosella on deck. Swing and a miss, a little front door breaking ball. Sneaks in under his hands, and Williamson comes up empty. Swinging a foul as Williamson reached for it off to the right side, and Goodson's come back from 2-0 to even the count at 2-2. Fouke up 1-0. We play in the top of the second. Swing and a miss, high fastball by him, and a good inning for Goodson. Comes back strong after he was hit by the line drive in the first. Nothing doing for the Panthers. Scrappers have 4, 5, and 6 when we come back. That's Chambers, Honey, and Green. We'll be right back on the YouTube live stream. This is Scrapper Baseball.
Leading off for the Scrappers in the bottom of the second inning. The right
Carson
fielder, number
Chambers
1, Carson Chambers.
gets the gig in the cleanup spot today, and he hit one over the wall, JT, and Chambers has heated up in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, for sure. You know, that's going to be an important part for the Scrappers to be successful in the postseason, and he's come around really nicely.
Line drive almost takes the pitcher's glove off, and Chambers on the first pitch shoots it into center field for a base hit. Pitcher's mound's most dangerous place on the field today, huh, JT?
Absolutely.
I mean, about 6 inches to the left, and Williamson would have been hit just like Goodson was back in the first. Chambers, small lead, and Honey takes a ball. Sawyer Jones holds against Kirby. Nobody out. Scrappers down a run. And a strike at the letters, and Honey looks at Coach Stewart. He goes through the signs. See if the Scrappers want to do some running, maybe hit and run here. Chambers edges off first. And draws a throw. Quick tag there by Jones, but Chambers back easily.
Sure was a quick tag. Probably the quickest one we've seen all season.
And a ball inside, and as I looked at Williamson then, he almost didn't pause when he came set. And a ball to Honey, and Honey works the count to 3-1.
Being a Cubs fan, I'm very familiar with Harry Carey saying we'll take a walk, a wild pitch, a balk, anything we can get.
Anything you can get. He's coming set good now, and now inside, and Williamson wanted that pitch. It was close, and
Now batting for the Scrappers.
Scrappers have 2 on and nobody out. Let's see what Gage Green can do. Green, team leading hitter. But 2 games ago, Gage had a tough night at the plate. Like to see him get out of that. I think he's either second or third on the team in RBIs, and he leads them in average. Scrappers threaten here in the second. 2 on, nobody out. Green bunts it, and it's a good one. And the sacrifice is good, 1-3.
Good job by Gage there to get his sign and lay that bunt down and move everybody over. Playing small balls worked all year for the Scrappers.
Now batting for the Scrappers.
Scrappers have been aggressive on the bases, and as JT says, Hutchison and Gray have got a lot of bunt base hits. Now they bring the infield in all of a sudden here in the second inning. And a ball outside to the DH, Peyton Fritz. He's DHing for Goodson, who is on the mound for the Scrappers today. Madden Arnold's on deck, infield in on the edge of the grass. I might mention in that DeQueen game over here the other day that the Scrappers won big. The score was about 5-1 in about the 5th or 6th inning. Scrappers had runner at third, less than 2 out. DeQueen left the infield back. You remember that, JT?
I do, yeah.
Really surprised about that as Fritz takes ball 3 high.
It almost seemed a concession at the time, but that's not a spot where you would normally think that you would concede that.
And a ball down the middle for a base hit as Fritz takes, shows a bunt, but he wasn't bunting. And strike 2 down the middle as Williamson comes back from 3-0 to make the count full. Swinging a foul off the end of the bat, and he stays alive. Most of the chairbacks full for this early 4 o'clock start on a Wednesday afternoon. Temperature, I think, about the high 70s. About a 4, 5, 6 mile an hour wind blowing out toward left field, blowing from the south. Here's the pitch. And a ball outside, and the Scrappers have them loaded. 2 walks and a base hit and a sacrifice bunt.
Foul takes time.
And Coach Ritter is going to come out and talk it over. Let's talk about the district standings a little bit. We mentioned them earlier, JT, but Arkadelphia on a roll. There are a lot of scenarios left with only 3 games left. Arkadelphia's got DeQueen Friday. Nashville has Hope Friday. Scrappers finish up with what we hope is a big series against Arkadelphia next week.
Yeah, so Arkadelphia is 7-0. Nashville's 5-2. So if Nashville can take care of business on Friday at Hope, they'll move to 6-2, and then you got to wonder what's going to happen in that DeQueen Arkadelphia game. But what it all comes down to next week. As long as we take care of business Friday, next week will be extremely important.
And it'll be for the district championship.
Right.
If we beat Hope, even if Arkadelphia wins, if we could sweep Arkadelphia, both of us finish at 8-2.
Right.
We would be the district champion
for the 3rd year in a row.
Now the middle infielders back. They play for the double play. Arnold takes the ball high, and Scrappers making the right-hander Cale Williamson work. Handball too high. Arnold, he'll want to be really selective here. Maybe take a strike or get his pitch in his zone. And a good take there as Williamson makes a good pitch. He throws a fastball under his hands. Probably would have sawed him off if he'd have swung at it.
Definitely would have been a chopper back to the mound.
Outside, ball gets away, and the Scrappers will tie the game. As Chambers scoots across the plate, the other runners move up. Ball got away from the catcher, Joshua Scoggins. Now the infield comes back in. Force is no longer there. Half swing, and he fouls it. Probably swung at ball 4 then, JT.
He did, and he knew it, but he got a piece of it.
Honey runs at third. Swing and a miss, and he took something off. Probably his change up there, and it dove, and that was one of the better pitches that Williams has thrown, and a big second out for the Panthers. Now here's Zeus Hutchison. Hutchison takes a look at Coach Stewart, that third baseman back. You might not be surprised to see Zeus try to beat one out here, JT.
Yeah, he's taking a few steps in.
Now he comes in. And Hutchison takes a strike.
If he could push one down the first base line, though, I think he could beat that out pretty easily.
1-1 here in the second. Swinging a foul, and Hutchison in the hole. Arnold got the count to 3-0 with the bases loaded and only 1 out, but Williamson has righted his ship right now. Got a strikeout of Arnold, and he's ahead of Hutchison. Ground ball to short. Picks it up clean and throws it clean, and Hutchison out by plenty, but the Scrappers come back and tie the game. They score 1 run on a hit, no errors, a couple left. Game moves into the third. You're watching Scrapper Baseball on the YouTube live stream. Goodson back to the mound. We'll be right back.
Leading off in the top of the third inning for the Panthers, the left fielder, number 5, Josh Prosella.
It'll be 9-1-2 for the Panthers to start the third. This is Josh Prosella, their left fielder. And Jaden Goodson's thrown how many pitches through 2, JT?
That is number 34.
Goodson has kind of settled in conference games, I think, JT, in the closer's role behind Boone and Chambers. Chambers will get to start Friday. Don't know how many pitches Coach Stewart will want Goodson to throw today.
Yeah, he's been able to come in, late in games and grab an inning or two, sometimes 3, but he's done a good job overall this season.
And a good breaking ball. He takes it a little off, and Prosella was way out front. Evens the count at 2-2. Chambers shallow in right field. Late swing and a foul over the Fouke dugout.
Probably the biggest pitching performance he had all year was down at Camden Fairview. He came in and shut him down as the Scrappers went to extra innings down there, and they won it 3-2. Jaden got the final 9 outs of that game.
Ooh, swing and a miss on another good breaking ball. Makes Prosella look bad. Back to the top of the order. This is Dawson Oliver, the second baseman. Yeah, JT, that was the first conference game of the year, and no disrespect, but that was before Fairview knew, they were 0-0 going into that game. They hadn't been beaten several times, so that's a big win for Nashville. And there's a chance for some ties in this district, all kind of scenarios. We won't go through them, but and a ball outside for ball 2 to the leadoff hitter.
But the big thing is the Scrappers win, you win out, you win the conference championship.
Yeah, that's right. That makes it easy. If there's ties, you can get into points. And in baseball, just load. Goodson wants that pitch. The Scrapper crowd wants that pitch. You can get a maximum of 5 points each game if you win a game. Scrappers have all their points in their win except that Fairview game and a 4-pitch walk to the leadoff hitter. He's got good speed.
Catcher number 11, Joshua Scoggins.
And let's see if they want to do a little running. So I don't know how the Queen and Magnolia stand point-wise with their wins. Haven't figured that out. But the Scrappers have their maximum except for the 1 run they got in that win against Fairview as Goodson throws over the first. Got a 3-man umpiring crew working here this afternoon as some of these guys get ready for regional action, and a ball. Scoggins scored the Panthers' only run of the game. He walked and came around on Carson Chandler's RBI triple to right field. There he goes. Throw down. Got a chance. Out as Hutchison makes the tag across his back, and Gage Green has that quick release again. Throw a little to the first base side, but the release got him.
Yeah, sometimes the throw to the first base side isn't bad because you're ending up throwing to the short side on that. I honestly thought there could have been a call there for offensive interference as the batter hung in front of the catcher.
Kind of stepped out across the box. And that breaking ball for a strike as the Panthers have 2 out and nobody on, and Scoggins reaches for it and fouls it off.
Talk about hitting it off the end cap. That was off the cap of the bat.
Priscillo struck out. Oliver walked. Green threw him out, and a ground ball to short. Arnold kicks it. See if he can get it over there in time, and he can't. Got a little bit of an in-between hop, but it'll be an E6 as Scoggins reaches.
That was an error, but I want to give Madden credit there. Yesterday he threw a ball that he probably shouldn't have thrown and ended up sending some runners around the merry-go-round, and that one was a good job to eat that and realize, you know what, I already messed up once, let's not make
That's
it
right,
worse.
and you make a good point. Don't let one mistake make you make two. Pretty good lead by the runner. Oh, and a breaking ball and a dandy by Goodson to the third place hitter, Chandler. He tripled the last time down the right field line, and Chambers is moved around more toward that right field line. Ground ball up the middle. Arnold stayed. Now he misses that one. And he peaked on that one, and tough inning for Madden Arnold, as he had an easy force. He could have either given it to Hutchison or stepped on the bag.
But you're exactly right. He peeked looking there to see whether or not he wanted to go to first or step on second, and
the third baseman, number
Madden's got to
3,
get out of his own
Jackson
head right now and just be
McMurray.
ready for the next one to come to him.
And boy, we talk about it all the time in baseball. That ball will find you when things aren't going good.
Every single time.
And Goodson trying to pitch around 2 errors. And this is their cleanup hitter, McMurray. Ground ball to Arnold again. Goes to third and safe as Honey wasn't on the base. Arnold could not have thrown the runner out at first, I don't think, JT. 3 ground balls. He made a good play to his right, came up throwing to Honey, and Honey couldn't find the base.
No, sir. It's like we said, ground ball's going to find him. And Arnold made a good backhanded play and knew exactly where he was going, but Mason didn't get his feet set enough on the bag, and so he's trying to tiptoe around and just not able to get there, and bases are loaded with 2 outs.
Coach Stewart is not happy as he goes to the mound, as the Scrappers have already given the Panthers at least 6 outs this inning, JT, but they're still not on the scoreboard.
They are not. They are not, and that's not going to be an error. That's just a fielder's choice, but you got to pitch right.
Should have been an out.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Play resumes. Robinson will be the batter for Fouke.
Terrell Robinson, he hit it as hard as you can hit one back to Goodson his last time up, and Goodson had the presence of mind to throw him out. And a breaking ball and a beauty over the outside edge. Bases full of Panthers. 2 errors and a fielder's choice have loaded them up. And strike 2, and that's the best fastball maybe Goodson's thrown today, JT.
Yeah, best set of 2 consecutive pitches he's thrown that, get him in the hole 0-2. Now, what you want to make sure here is that you don't leave that 0-2 pitch in too much of the plate.
Here's the 0-2. Strike 3 call as he throws a curveball over the inside edge, a front door curveball, and Goodson says, I'll just take him myself, and a big strikeout, and that shows a lot to get out of an inning like that. That inning could have gone sideways, JT.
Absolutely, and I bet you Madden Arnold is saying, I'll buy you some chicken nuggets after the game for that one, after the inning he had.
All right, 1-1. Scrappers come to the plate in the bottom of the third. We've got a good one going here, non-conference. Scrappers and Fouke. Scrapperettes playing over at Futrell Field. They just got started. They're starting at 4:30. They're playing what Coach Boomer Brown told me today, a good Genoa Central team. We'll be right back with the bottom of the third. Scrappers back to the top of the order.
Bottom of the third inning, the left
That'll
fielder,
be Luke
number
Boone,
3,
followed by
Luke
Hayden Gray and
Boone.
Carson Kirby. 1-1 game here. Boone led the game off for the Scrappers, rolled to the first baseman. Williamson's pitch to Boone. The ball inside. And a little floater just outside, ball 2.
He's already seen double the amount of pitches he saw in the first inning.
That's right. Williamson took a little off. It was just outside. And a quick ball 3. No, it hit him in the foot. And a good start for the Scrappers as Boone gets hit in the
Batting
foot.
for the Scrappers, the center fielder, number 7, Hayden Gray.
He takes a look as Coach Stewart goes through the signs. This is a bunting situation for the Scrappers. Crossett and Warren are atop District 8, 5-1. Monticello 4-2. Then Hamburg behind them. Bunt popped up and it gets down and they throw it into right field and Boone will go to third and Gray will scoot into second. And JT, that was a funny play. He popped it up down the first baseline, and when the pitcher caught it, he really didn't know what he wanted to do with it.
No,
on
that
the first bounce.
Yeah, the first baseman knew he couldn't get to it,
Now batting
so he left it there, and the
for the
pitcher
Scrappers.
came over, and he tried to throw it over the top of Hayden Gray, and he ended up throwing it over the top of everybody out in the right field. Hayden wasn't sure if he was gonna be able to get to second or not, so he kind of held up, and he ended up getting there. It looks like they're going to intentionally walk Carson Kirby to load the bases.
So they're going to work Kirby to load the bases to face the Scrapper cleanup hitter, Carson Chambers. Scrappers have a chance for a big inning. Let's see what can happen. 2 of their better hitters, Chambers and Honey, coming up as the infield up the middle plays for 2. Shot in the right field corner, but Chambers in front of it pulls it foul. Just couldn't wait on it quite long enough, got the barrel out, hit it hard, but foul. Right fielder pulled way over toward the line for Chambers. Ground ball, base hit to right field, 1 run's in. Here comes another run as Chambers keeps his hard hitting and save. Chambers down to second and they throw it into center field. A 3rd run will score and Chambers will go to 3rd. And the Scrappers clear the bases on a base hit and a throwing error.
The old Little League home run, Little League triple.
Little
but
league
yeah.
triple there, but a good shot between the second baseman and third baseman and Coach Ritter out of the dugout. And a little surprised in a 1-1 game this early, JT, that they would load the bases with an intentional walk to Kirby then to really set up a big inning for the Scrappers. I understand what he was doing, but this early you put another runner on base.
Yeah, especially against Carson Chambers. I mean, like I say, I understand the concept of, getting a force at any base, but, no harm intended to Carson Kirby. But if I'm a coach, I think I want to face Carson Kirby over Carson Chambers, but you never know.
And the powwow goes on still at the mound as Coach Ritter does not make a pitching change. Scrappers have plated 3, still nobody out. And these runners, the runners at Reese base, none of them got a base hit, JT.
Not a single one.
Hit by pitch, an error, and a base on balls. And then another throwing error. Honey hits it hard in the left field. Let it go to the wall. Chambers trots home, and Honey cruises into second with a double.
Good job on Mason Honey there, looking for that first pitch fastball. You know, as a pitcher, after you've given up those few runs, you want to make sure that you don't get that runner from third scoring easily. So you want to throw a fastball, and Honey was ready for it and drilled it out there past the left fielder.
And Honey just a really good contact hitter, I think. Here's Gage Green, had a good sacrifice bunt. Takes the ball outside. Again, if you just tuned in, this is the same pitcher to that a few weeks ago when Fouke came up and the Scrappers won. He came in relief in the second and allowed one base runner for the rest of the game. Scrappers have jumped on him a little bit. Fouke has helped a little bit defensively. And way inside. And JT, the difference in this game right now, the Scrappers were in a situation last half inning just like Fouke was, and Goodson got out of it. We'd made a couple of errors. Fouke did not get out of it as Green takes a strike on 3-0.
That's exactly what I was thinking. You know, I mean, they weren't able to capitalize when we had a couple errors, and we were able to when they walked the bases loaded, so that's the difference.
And Green takes a walk, and we'll probably see a courtesy runner for Green.
It'll be Brett Fritz.
Courtesy running now for the Scrapper catcher. Now running at first base, number 9, Brett Fritz. Now batting for the Scrappers, the designated hitter, number 16, Peyton Fritz.
We got the Fritz boys at the plate and on first base. Peyton's batting, Brett's running at first. Shows bunt, gets it down. It's a good one. Throw to first, and he is out. And a good sacrifice bunt by Fritz gives Madden Arnold a chance.
I think Fritz was surprised at how good the bunt was. He kind of stood there thinking it was going to be foul, but it stayed out in front about 2-3 feet, and good sacrifice there by Peyton Fritz.
Here's Madden Arnold. Infield comes back in for the Panthers as the Scrappers lead 5-1 here in the third. And a good pitch, a little bit of a backdoor slider, and Arnold swings and misses. How many pitches for Mr. Williamson now?
This pitch will be number 47.
And strike 2. Arnold steps out, wants to put it in play somewhere. Zeus Hutchison on deck. And he hits it. Boy, that's that 0-2 pitch. It's bitten the Scrappers a lot this year. You go 0-2 and you try to throw that breaking ball, and you're really not even trying to throw it under their hands probably, and gets away from him and hits it.
Yeah, you know, we were saying earlier in that 0-2 pitch, you don't want to leave too much of the plate, but you don't want to hit them either. You know, you got to make it close enough that they'll try and swing at something out of the zone.
Scrappers really trying to have a big inning now, and maybe a little frustrated. Williamson throws a fastball way outside.
Yeah, he overthrew that one.
Hutchison butts it. They'll have a force at home, and a good idea, but Zeus bunted it right back to the pitchers for an easy force. He's trying to get that ball, push it down the first base line or down the third base line.
Yeah, just, you know, it's tough to get a bunt to go where you want. It's hard enough to bunt it just as it is, but unfortunately right back to the pitcher, and they made a clean play and got the second out of the inning.
Scrappers have scored 4. Boone could make it more as the left-handed batter stands in. Fly ball to center field. Center fielder drifts over, and good job by Williamson of getting out of it as Boone led off the inning, getting hit by a pitch, and he was the 10th batter for the Scrappers. For the inning, the Scrappers score 4 runs on 2 hits. There were a couple errors. Bases were left loaded. Nashville up 5-1. Fouke comes to the plate in the 4th. This is Scrapper Baseball on YouTube live stream. Bottom part of the order for the Panthers. Jaden Goodson back for his 4th inning of work. This is the first baseman, Sawyer Jones.
I'm gonna go see.
Ball outside. Always talk about after you put up a crooked number, you can really keep the momentum going by having a shutdown inning, JT.
Yeah, you know, baseball is definitely a game of ebbs and flows, and if you can come out here and shut them down 1, 2, 3, that does a lot for your confidence.
Ball 2 now. And just outside, he hadn't missed much on any of them, but he goes 3-0 to Jones. Last thing he wants to do is walk that leadoff hitter. And a strike right down central. And inside, might have hit him, might not have, doesn't matter. He's on with a base on balls.
Number 16, River Dobson.
Gonna have a pinch runner here.
Now running at first base for the Panthers, number 2, Noah Pittman.
Noah Pittman comes in to run for their first baseman. Big first baseman Jones doesn't look to have a lot of speed, so Coach Ritter puts in a pinch runner. This is River Dobson. He rolled out to third his first time up. And Goodson throws a bender for strike 1 right under his hands. Arlen Hutchison looked for 2 up the middle. And Goodson throws to first. The pinch runner Pittman dives back. And he tries that breaking ball again, ball 1. Scrappers got some action in the bullpen again. It's a left-hander, could be John Wallace, but I'm not sure.
That is John Wallace, yes, sir.
Good pitch. Right at the knees, swing and a miss. That other game we played against Fouke, we've been bragging on Williamson getting 16 out of 17, but we can brag on John Wallace for the Scrappers. He had a really good start for the Scrappers that day.
He sure did, you know, only giving up 2 runs and putting in, you know, in these non-conference games, it's really important for these guys that are not your top 1 or 2 to get some effective innings in, because you just never know what's going to happen in the playoffs. And so always a good job for them.
And strike 3, and he freezes the batter. He threw that front door breaking ball again, and the first out as River Dobson called out on strikes. This is the pitcher Williamson coming up.
For the Panthers, the pitcher, number 8, Cale Williamson.
Williamson struck out swinging his last at bat.
The ball outside pops out of Green's mitt, but the runner can't advance. You probably guess in this non-conference game that maybe Coach Stewart would like to get 4 innings out of Goodson and then turn it over to somebody else. And Goodson making it a little closer over there as he's keeping a close eye on the pinch runner, Noah Pittman. Scrappers up 5-1. We play in the top of the 4th. Game approaching being 1 hour old. There goes the runner. Ground ball to short. Arnold lets it pop out of his glove again. And Madden's having a tough day out there. And like you said, JT, when you're having a tough day, that ball keeps on finding you.
Yeah, just absolutely brutal situation for Madden Arnold. He's a much better fielder than that. He's just having a terrible, terrible half hour here.
Panthers, the left fielder, number 5, Josh Prosella.
Listen, pitched around some errors in the 3rd. Let's see if he can do it in the 4th. Ball way high. And we're going to get somebody out of the dugout, and we're going to have another runner.
Now running at first base for the Panthers, number 6, Cody Heflin.
Cody Heflin courtesy runs for the pitcher. So he's not in the scorebook. First and second, one out. Ground ball to short. Hutchison comes across and gets it and dives to the bag and gets the force out. That was really an unusual play. That ball was hit on a hop right over the pitcher Goodson's head. It was just a hair to the shortstop side of the bag. Arnold and Hutchison cut across. Hutchison backhanded it, JT, and made a quick reaction, dove back to the bag to get to force.
Yeah, I wonder there if Hutchinson cutting across wasn't trying to help out his teammate Madden Arnold, who had a rough couple outs here. But
you thought maybe if Arnold could have made the play, he might have stepped on second and thrown to first for an easy double play, and you could very well be right. Two outs now. And a throw over to first. The pinch runner for Jones is at third. They have first and third. They're down 4, but we'll see if they want to run. Not running and a ball. And ball 2 goes low. We'll ask JT what Goodson's pitch count is after this pitch. 2 balls and a strike. Ball inside.
that was pitch number 72 for Jaden.
3-1. Ground ball to Kirby. Bounces off of it. Can he recover in time? No. And the Scrappers having trouble fielding ground balls. That's the third ground ball error.
Well, I can promise you what they'll be working on in practice. We'll be cleaning that up.
And the thing is, now they have first and second and have scored a run. You may get some in-between hops on this turf, but they're all true, JT.
Yeah, that's the thing about turf fields, is you're going to get the same hop every time.
Ground ball to short. Arnold kicks it again. First to first, safe, and the run scores on the error. This is almost a wild deal here.
Now batting for Fouke, the shortstop, number
3 errors for the Scrappers this inning, 2 errors and a misplay the last inning. So for 2 innings in a row, JT, the Scrappers have given 6 outs.
And Jaden Goodson's out there just throwing strikes.
He's trying to keep the Scrappers in it. And a strike, a curveball over the outside edge. The thing about it is, JT, this is just one of those days. The Scrappers have been pretty good defensively all year.
They have, and that's why it's got to be so frustrating for Coach Stewart.
There's a base hit. Run coming around, he'll score. Throw to the plate and safe, and probably not a good decision by Boone. Probably should have hit the cutoff man. And Coach Stewart comes out. And this inning has gone sideways for the Scrappers as Chandler gets his second hit and second RBI.
Scrappers take time.
Cleanup hitter McMurray will be the 8th batter of the inning. And the Scrappers are going to make a pitching change. They're bringing in the left-hander, John Wallace. And Brett Fritz will go to shortstop while they make the change. So the Scrappers make two changes here. Wallace will take his warm-up tosses. Nashville's had 5-4. We're in the top of the fourth. Wallace in relief of Goodson. We'll be right back. Fouke has already plated 3. They're all unearned. All their runs are unearned except their one in the first. And Wallace throws a ball inside. He's in relief of Jaden Goodson, and Goodson's teammates did him no favors in the field today as he only allowed 1 earned run. And ball 2 by Wallace. Fouke has runners at first and third, and 2 out. There's a tapper back to Wallace. Throws to first, and a good throw. And Wallace goes toward the third base side, sets his feet, and makes a good throw for the out, and the Scrappers get out of the fourth. Fouke scores 3 runs on no hits. There were 3 errors, 1 hit. 3 errors and a couple left on base. Nashville up 5-4. A little bit sloppy here in the non-conference game this afternoon. Scrappers meeting with Coach Stewart in front of the dugout. They'll have the meat of their order, Gray, Kirby, and Chambers up as they bat in the bottom of the fourth. We'll be right back. comes Hayden Gray to the plate.
Will be the center fielder, number 7.
Got a
Hayden
game all of
Gray.
a sudden, huh, JT?
Yeah.
5-4 Nashville.
Still got the lead. Got to see if we can string some hits together and get those 3 runs back and add on to that as well.
Scrapper scored 3 in the third, 4 in the third. Gray takes a pitch just inside, a curveball from Williamson. Jaden Goodson started for Nashville, and he pitched better than his fate was. Wallace came in and got the last out in the fourth. Strike to Gray, 1-1.
Yeah, Jaden Goodson only gave up 2 hits and 1 earned run.
2 hits, 1 earned run, and that was in the first, and they got it on a walk and a triple.
He walked 3, struck out 4 through 76 pitches. Looks like we've got a pitch comm issue.
Yeah.
Tell us how much you love that, John.
No, you bet. We don't want to give signs anymore. We got to do the electronics. And the umpire and the catcher trying to get the catcher's pitch comm going, and I think they've got it straightened out. 1-1 pitch to Gray. Ground ball to the right of the shortstop. He picks it up and throws and out, and a good play by their shortstop. That was a dandy as the shortstop Chandler. He's the hitting star so far. He's got both of their hits. Good play in the hole, JT.
Yeah, he took about 3 steps to his right, backhanded that ball, and fired a missile across the field. Good job by the first baseman there, Jones, to stretch and help his shortstop out. You know, that's an underappreciated thing as a first baseman that, you know, if you can get that extra 6 feet by stretching out, that makes that throw so much easier.
Now a little humpback pop up to the second baseman, and Scrappers get 2 quick outs. Scrappers have had 2 rough innings in a row defensively. Last thing you want to see is you go 1, 2, 3, and the first 2 are already out. Chambers is 2 for 2. He got a 2 RBI single after they intentionally walked Kirby in the last inning. Ball way outside. Got a ball outside. Talk about baseball being a funny game. The same pitcher pitched against Nashville when we played him a few weeks ago. I wrote on my scorecard, ball 3 to Chambers. I wrote on my scorecard what a clean game it was both sides. It was about an hour and 40 minutes, 7-inning game, and I mean nowhere as clean as it could be. And clean is not a word you'd use to describe this game so far.
The only way you could use clean is saying need to clean it up.
3-1 now to Chambers. He'll be looking for something to drive. And he fouls it hard off the Panther dugout on the right side. Full count to the Scrapper right fielder. He'll get to start Friday at Hope. JT will have that call. And a pop-up. Let's see if it stays in play. I think it will. It's high. Let's see if anybody can catch it, and the left fielder overruns it as it falls about 2 feet foul. That was a major league pop-up, JT.
I was watching it while it was in the air, and you could see that curl back towards the field, and you could see the players all running and nobody checking up, and I thought that was going to drop in fair, but it just was a foot or 2 foul.
Kind of like one of those pop-ups right at the plate. If anybody's ever caught, they know mostly that those pop-ups to the plate, they usually drift back toward the field of play. And a walk. Chambers has been on base all 3 times.
Scrappers, the third baseman, number 13, Mason Honey.
Honey ripped a double down the left field line his first time. His second time, he walked his first time. Knocked Chambers in. Ball in the dirt, good stop by Scoggins, their catcher. 2 outs, Nashville up 5-4. See if Scrappers want to do any running with Chambers. Long one toward the gap. That'll plug the left center field gap. 2 hops the wall, Here comes Chambers, and he'll score without a play. And Mason Honey plugging the gaps today, JT.
2 doubles, 4 total bases for the Scrapper senior. He's virtually walking into second base. Pounded that one out there to 330 sun on 3 hops. And Scrappers get 1 run back, and they lead 6-4.
Here's Gage Green. He has sacrificed and walked. He's 0 for 0 today. Line drive, base hit. Holds up Honey as the throw comes in. Green scoots on down to second. And a good job of running by Gage Green and coaching by Todd Ledford as the throw comes to the plate. And I think a good decision by Coach Stewart to hold Honey up.
Yeah, that was just a great job by Gage Green there. You know, the catcher had to go up the line to get that throw, and like you said, good job by Coach Stewart to hold up Mason Honey. But Green recognized that and hustled on down to second, and now that'll bring up the designated hitter Peyton Fritz with 2 runners in scoring position.
And Applegate, the freshman, comes in to courtesy run. Swing and a miss by Fritz. He's walked and sacrificed money. Base hit with May plate 2. Almost hits him. Gage Applegate running at second, Honey at third, 2 outs. Fly ball to center. It hangs up for their center fielder, and he puts it away. But the Scrappers score 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, a couple left. Got a tight one going here. Game moves into the 5th as John Wallace will be back to the mound. Nashville up 6-4. Come back and join us on live stream YouTube. We'll be right back. Terrell Robinson, the leadoff hitter for Fouke. They got 3 in the last inning. Scrappers helped them with some errors. They sent 8 to the plate. Wallace in relief of Goodson. Here's his first pitch. Ball high. Nice Wednesday afternoon crowd has come to the ballpark. JT, if somebody wants to see the Scrappers play in Nashville, they've got one more chance a week from Friday.
That'll be it. That's senior night.
Scrappers have 5 seniors. I've talked to 4 of them on the radio or the live stream. Probably going to talk to Mason Honey this afternoon. Swinging a foul. Makes the count 1-2. JT will have the call for you Friday at Hope at 3, and he'll have the call at Arkadelphia Tuesday at 5. Frank and I will be back next Friday. Ground ball to third. Honey gets it on the big hop and flips it. And the senior makes a nice play as he runs all the way past the pitcher's mound as he throws it in.
Now batting for the Panthers, the first baseman, number 9.
Mason
Carter
Honey's playing
Jones.
really good baseball this year, JT. He's having a good senior year.
Yeah, you said it yesterday. He's just a good baseball player. You know, he's going to be clean over there at third for the most part. He can hit the ball all over the place and get on base, and just what you want to see.
And he likes to play good fastball by Wallace to the left-handed hitting first baseman Jones. He walked last time his pinch runner scored a run. Ball low.
You were mentioning the schedule there. If I'm remembering right, there's a away game at Arkansas High next week as well.
I don't remember that, but I know nothing else at Wilson Park.
That's correct, yes.
We hope the one a week from Friday, whatever the non-conference are, we hope the one a week from Friday means something. Ground ball off Wallace's glove, and Hutchison throws him out. Wow! The big first baseman, Jones, doesn't run very well, and when the ball deflected off Wallace's glove, I just chalked it up as an infield hit. What about you, JT?
I was already marking it down as a hit, and you saw Zeus Hutchinson come across, and good job by him to stay with it, and a great job by Carson Kirby to stretch and keep that foot on the bag.
And again, no disrespect, but probably the batter Jones may be the only Panther batter we could have thrown out on that play. Ground ball to short there, pegging shortstop. Hutchison bounces it and he beats it out safe. Hutchison takes it in the hole, fielded and threw a strike over to Kirby on the bounce, but it's an infield hit for Dobson.
Now batting for Fouke, the pitcher, number 8, Cale Williamson.
It's funny how games work. I mean, Fouke has peppered the shortstop positions today, JT.
Yeah.
I'd have to go back and look, but I'm saying that's 7 or 8 balls hit to the shortstop position. And a ball just low. Scrapper defense, Green behind the plate. Honey at third, Hutchison at short. Fritz at second, Kirby at first. 1-0 pitch to the batter. Ball too low. Boone, Gray, and Chambers left to right in the outfield.
Chambers is doing his best to fight that sun in the right field.
I played at this ballpark literally 60 years ago, even more than that. One hopper, Hutchison fields it, goes the short way for the fuller. Williamson hits it hard but out as Hutchison goes the short way and gets the out 6-4. Good inning by Wallace, no runs on the hit. No errors, one left. What I was going to say, JT, on a clear afternoon, that sun's in the same place in right field as it was 60 years ago. It hadn't moved. And it's tough if you play on the right side. Scrapper's up 6-4. They bat in the fifth. We'll be right back.
Baseman, number 9, Brett Fritz.
Cale Williamson back to the mound, and he's gone all the way for the Panthers, and he's thrown how many going into the fifth, JT?
This is number 69 for him.
Scrappers added a run. Scrappers have missed some chances to score some runs today, JT.
Yeah, you want to make sure that you try and clean that up as you get ready for the postseason. But, you know, they've fixed that the last couple weeks. But here against a good Fouke team, they've missed some.
And a little bender for a strike evens the count. This is Fritz first at bat. Zeus Hutchison on deck. He picks up an errant baseball and gets it to the umpire. Big gap in right center field. If Fritz could hit it there, he could run for a while. Curveball stays inside. Just a gentle breeze blowing out toward left. Now ball low. And just high and a walk. Good start for the Scrappers. Fritz got a little speed. Hutchison coming up, and he's got a little speed at the plate. See if we want a bunt. See if we want a hit and run. See if we want a straight steal. Coach Stewart going through all the signs over there. McMurray, their third baseman, he's thinking bunt. He's in on the edge of the grass. Zeus tries to bunt a high pitch, doesn't get his bat out front. Plus a tough pitch to bunt, JT.
Yeah, that high fastball up there, it's one you want to leave alone if you're trying to bunt. But, you know, Zeus Hutchison's so good at it, he thinks he can probably get all of them.
And bunts it foul. And both times, as Zeus has done a good job bunting, both times he hadn't gotten his bat out in front of the plate, and both times it's fouled off to the right side. Now let's see what Coach Stewart's going to do as Boone is on deck. Ball outside. Counts 1-2. Hutchinson tried to bunt, fouled the first two off. Now he's swinging away with two strikes. Nashville up 6-4. Ball outside. Quick throw back by the catcher, and Fritz dives back in a little closer than he would have liked for it to be. There he goes. Throw down. Going to be close. No, safe. He slides in. Pretty good jump by Fritz. Decent throw by Scoggins. Thought it was going to be a little closer, JT, when I called it, but Fritz in easily.
He's got that deceptive speed they talk about.
Ground ball up the middle, back to the pitcher, and he throws him out at first, but maybe a little mistake in by Williamson. He had the ball in his glove before Hutchinson dropped the bat, and Fritz headed straight to third. If he'd have looked at third, he would have been an easy out over there.
Yeah, you know, that's works out well for the Scrappers, though. You get the stolen base. You were trying to throw the bunt down before, and that works just as well as a bunt and get the runner over to third.
Now the infield comes in. Scrappers have had a little trouble adding on in spots. Boone trying to get the seventh run in. Ground ball foul just outside first base as Boone's out front.
A lot of room there in the right center field gap there for Luke.
All low. Fritz walked, stole a base, and went to third on an infield out. Ball outside. And don't think it was trying to be some kind of breaking ball, but Williams up in the 60s on his pitches. Don't think he's throwing quite as hard as he started, JT.
That was pitch number 82 there.
82. Boone can set on something with a 3-1 pitch. And a ball 4. Here's Hayden Gray.
Now batting for the Scrappers is center fielder number 7, Hayden Gray.
Coach Stewart talking to his runner Fritz at third. Coach Ledford talking to the runner Boone at first. See what the Scrappers want to do first and third, one out as Gray comes to the plate. Not going, and a pitch for a ball. Scrappers got a chance to add on here. And it hits him. There's that breaking ball that he tries, and Coach Ritter comes out. And it really looks like maybe the last 2 or 3 batters Weaves are starting to get tired, JT.
Yeah, I agree. He's, that was pitch number 86. I think he had a good outing, just gave up a couple hits, and Scrappers capitalized some, but Coach Ritter's going to get his center fielder to come in, it looks like.
So the Panthers are going to make a pitching change. Nashville up 6-4, but they have the bases loaded and one out in the 5th. They're making a pitching change. We'll tell you who it is when we come back on the live stream. This is Scrapper Baseball. Bases loaded, one out. Here's Carson Kirby. Their starter, Cale Williamson, ran out of gas. He walked 2 and hit 1. The Scrappers have them loaded with 1 out, trying to add to a 6-4 lead, and Kirby takes a strike right down the middle. Kirby popped up to second his last time up. Half swing doesn't go. Terrell Robinson came in from center field. The pitcher Williamson goes to center field. That time he had a half swing and couldn't hold up. Now Kirby wants to put it in play. He's behind 1 and 2. Ball dips just low.
Good eye by Carson Kirby, though. That was a tough one to lay off of.
Good take there. Ground ball to the first baseman, and he sneaks into right field. Base hit, 1 run scores. Here comes the next run. He'll score as Kirby goes down to second on the 3rd, and that's a C&I single between first and second.
Tell you what, the first baseman just hopped right over his diving glove. Second baseman and bounced over his. Right fielder scooped it up and threw it in, but 2 runs were scored at that point. But good job by Carson Kirby to get a bat on the ball and then take second base on the throw as well. And now we're going to intentionally walk Carson Chambers.
He's the hottest Scrapper hitter. He's been on base all 3 times. And maybe he's not the hottest hitter. Maybe the guy coming to the plate's the hottest hitter. Honey has 2 doubles. Honey could have a big day right now. Bases loaded, 1 out. Honey takes the ball inside. Robinson wanted that pitch, didn't get the call. Honey hits it high in the air in left field. That ball's carrying. It'll at least score a run as the left fielder corrals it. And a good at bat for Honey and a sacrifice fly.
Definitely productive. Anytime you can score a run, get that drives in another run for Honey today, and he's had a big day at the plate.
Gage Green, he had a big hit. He's 1 for 1 today. Gage been struggling a little at the plate. Boy, he carried the team offensively earlier, JT.
He sure did.
Long one into left, and right at the left fielder, and he makes a heck of a play as he dives and comes up in it. Green can't hit it any harder, and a web gem by their left fielder as he goes toward the foul line, lays out and catches it. That ball had double written all over it, but a good play by their left fielder.
Scrapper scored 3 runs on 1 hit.
That's Josh Prosella.
Your score after 5 complete.
But the Scrappers score 2 that inning on 2 hits, nowhere. There's a couple left. Scrappers up 9-4 now. We'll be right back as Wallace goes to the mound. Josh Prosella comes to the plate. JT, Frank, and I usually have this dialogue at least once a year. There's an old adage in baseball that if you make a web gem, a lot of times you lead off the next inning, and that's what Prosella did, is he made a great play in left field. And I'll say, Frank, what's the chance that Prosella's going to lead off this inning? And his answer is always 1 out of 9.
1 out of 9, it'll get you every time.
Prosella takes the ball outside. Scrapper's got a little breathing room and a ball inside, but nothing feels comfortable in this game today the way it's gone, JT.
It sure doesn't. John Wallace is bringing it up there. I bet he's hitting low 80s on some of those fastballs.
And no ball 3, and the last thing he wants to do after the Scrappers plate 3 is put the first man on to face the top of the order. And a strike over the outside edge. Automatic 3-0. Way outside, and a 5-pitch walk to Prosella.
Panthers now back to the top of the order. Now batting the second baseman, number 4, Dawson Oliver.
Oliver's grounded out, walked, and reached on an error. Left-handed batting, second baseman. And a strike over the outside edge at the letters. Kirby holds against the runner. Hutchinson and Fritz look for the double play. Ball in the dirt. Honey plays the left-handed hitter about even at the bag at third. And way high, and Wallace having a little trouble finding the plate here. And Gage Green kind of wants to break the momentum, and he goes out and says a word to his pitcher.
Yeah, just a quick conversation there telling John, hey, man, we got a 5-run lead. Just let them hit the ball. Trust your defense.
And the 2-0 pitch to the batter. Line drive right at Boone, and no, it gets by him as it slices away. It'll be a hit, and the ball will go to the wall as they bring the runner. Might have a play at the plate. Throw the plate and safe, just safe. As the Scrappers handle the relay from Boone to Hutchison, and the runner barely dived in. Thought that ball was going at Boone, but the left-handed hitter line drive, it was slicing away from him. He dove and it went to the wall.
Yeah, just a unlucky break there, but Scrappers trying to get out of here and clean this up a little bit.
And here come the Panthers. Ball high. JT mentioned Wallace. I believe Wallace throwing harder than I've seen him this year.
Yeah, you know, when we were in Benton, he hit 83 a couple times, so I think he's right about there, if maybe not a mile or two above that.
But having a little trouble finding the strike zone right now. And a strike over the outside edge. Ground ball to be a base hit as Hutchison tries to knock it down, and he saves a run at shortstop. An infield single. Good play by Hutchison to keep the ball in the infield. And the Panthers have something going as the first three have reached.
Shortstop number 10, Carson Chandler.
That makes it 9-5 with 2 runners on and nobody out. Scrappers need that first out. And a strike, a quick throw back to first by Green, but the runner scampers back. A walk, a double, and a single have got the Panthers in business here in the 6th. Ball outside. See somebody throwing in a Scrapper bullpen. Could be Banks Ray down there.
That is Banks Ray.
Senior right-hander, plays a lot of second base. And a ball high. Swinging a foul off to the net on the right side. They've got to meter their order up. This is Carson Chandler. He's reached all 3 times. Triple, singled, and reached on an arrow. There goes the runner. And Green doesn't throw down. Now the double play's not in order. And the count goes full to the batter. Good at bat by Chandler as he fouls it to the left side. Coach Ritter fields it in the third base coaching box. Swing and a miss, and a big first out for the Scrappers. Ball had a little sink to it, and Chandler swung over it. There's one out. Their cleanup hitter, McMurray, comes to the plate. He's reached on the fielder's choice and hit it back to the pitcher twice. And a strike as Wallace pours in a fastball. Scrappers infield back as they have a 4-1 lead at present. Scrappers need 5 outs before Fouke scores 4. Good stop by Green as the ball is way outside. Little humpback line drive foul over Honey's head. Right off the handle.
And that would have scored 2 runs.
That would have been trouble if it would have been about 10 feet to the right. But now Wallace is ahead 1-2 in the count. Swing and a miss as the ball has some sink. And he made McMurray look bad. That's 2 strikeouts in a row for Wallace as he comes back and tries to keep the inning from getting out of hand. First 3 reached. They've scored 1. This is the pitcher now. He started in center field, Terrell Robinson. Ball low. And a strike at the knees. Priscilla walked. He scored. Oliver double. Scoggins single. And now Chandler and McMurray have struck out. Tapper foul off to the right side. Now Robinson in the hole. Wallace tries to work out of a 2-out jam. Robinson steps out. Now he's back in. Wallace working from the windup and the pitch. Just inside with a high fastball. 2 on, 2 outs. 2-2 the count. Just outside ball 3 as he takes something off. Big pitch for Wallace here. Full count, 2 on, 2 out. Ground ball to third. There's Honey. He throws a strike and the inning is over. And it's a routine play by Honey, but he had to watch the runner there. And the runner did a good job avoiding him, but he tried to distract him a little bit. But a 5-3 out and a really good job by Wallace settling that inning down after the first 3 reached, JT.
Yeah, another one of those innings where defensively the Scrappers make a mistake and the pitcher bails them out. So we'll head to the bottom of the 6th.
And the Scrappers will have Fritz and Hutchison will be right back. Nashville is up 9-5. Third pitcher of the day for the Fouke Panthers coming to the mound from third base.
Jackson McMurray. Now playing center field.
Jackson McMurray.
Now playing left field, number 8, Cale Williamson. And now playing
And he'll face Peyton Fritz. He's the scrapper DH.
Batting for the Scrappers, number 16.
He's walked, had a sacrifice bunt, and flown out to center. And he takes a strike over the outside edge. Peyton Fritz, Brent Fritz, and Zeus Hutchison. Ball high. Third baseman in on the edge of the grass, and he throws it over Fritz's head. Tries that breaking ball. And just outside as he throws hard, Fritz trying to get on. Scrappers need 3 outs. They lead by 4. JT, we mentioned it in or two ago. Nothing feels comfortable in this game right now, though.
It sure does, and you want to put up as many as you can against this Fouke team.
And Fritz takes it just outside for a walk.
Second baseman, number 9, Brett Fritz.
We'll see if the Scrappers want to try to bunt him over as Coach Stewart goes through his signs. Fritz got good speed out there. Might want to try to steal it. Takes a strike, doesn't show bunt, runner not going. McMurray getting it up there with a little more pop, I think, than their previous 2 pitchers. And he throws it away, and there's that sacrifice bunt as Fritz will scoot down to second on an E1. I'll count up the errors before the game's over. Excuse me, before the game's over for both teams, but most teams will agree it's too many. Line drive right at the shortstop. Can he get the double play? No. Good job of running by Fritz. I mean, Brett Fritz hit it hard as he could. Third baseman speared it about a foot off the ground, and a good job by Peyton Fritz getting back to second base. Hutchison fouls one off to the right side. You might heard it hit the metal roof here at Wilson Park. Scrappers' next action is day after tomorrow at Hope. That's a conference game. JT will have the call. There goes the runner to third, and the throw gets away, and there's another throwing error as Fritz scoots in. And Fritz had that good jump, and the Scrappers got a cheap run in, JT.
Sure did. You know, great job there by Zeus Hutchinson. I don't know if you noticed or not, but he did not move a centimeter as soon as that catcher tried to throw to third, because that's his box. You know, he can stand there and own it, and catcher has to throw around him.
But if he lunges to get in front of that catcher, it's catcher's interference and the batter's out and the runner returns. Or it's batter's interference. Batter's out, runner returns. Now Hutchison bats with nobody out. Scrappers get an insurance run, a cheap one. And Hutchison takes ball 3. 1 out, Nashville up 10-5. And a high strike. That runs the count full. Ground ball to second, too hot. Second baseman gets it, throws him out. 2 outs.
Now batting for the
Scrappers have gotten a cheap run this inning. As Fritz walks, pickoff throw to first, got away, he went to second. He stole third as the catcher's throw got into left field. Boone's been on base twice, hit by a pitch and a walk, scored 2 runs. Ball high. And a good curveball for a strike. Boone bats with the bases empty here. And a ball just low. Panthers wanted that call. They didn't get it. Boone backs out. Now asks for time. Gray's on deck. Gray and Boone both scored 2 runs each in this game. And a good at bat as Boone walks.
Now batting for the Scrappers, the center fielder, number 7, Hayden Gray.
It's his 3rd walk of the day.
Yep. And a throw over. 2 are out. See if Boone wants to do some running. And a curveball, and Gray doesn't offer for a strike. And a curveball stays inside, ball 2. Nashville up 10-5 here. See if Wallace goes back for the 7th. Ray was warming up. And now another ball to Gray. Game almost 2 hours old. And a throw over to first. Ball goes low. 3-1. Boone not much lead at first base. Gray stands back in for the 3-1 pitch. And ball 4. There's heel trot down to first. And here comes Carson Kirby.
Number 34, Carson Kirby.
Line drive, that'll score somebody. Goes to the wall. Plugs the left center field gap, and Boone scores. Gray scores. 2 RBI double by Carson Kirby.
Carson Kirby continues to knock out doubles this season.
And knock in runs.
Now batting for the Scrappers, the right fielder, number 1, Carson Chambers.
Here's Chambers. He's 2 for 2 with 2 walks. Scrappers open it up now. They're up 12-5. Line drive, base hit. Boy, Chambers is hot. Here comes Kirby around. The throw's cut off, no play, and they miss the cutoff. That'll be another error as the first baseman can't corral it to allow Chambers to go to second.
The third baseman, number 13, Mason Honey.
That's 4 errors now for Fouke. And JT has not been a clean game, but the Scrappers take a commanding lead. Honey takes a strike.
Yeah, combined 10 errors between the two teams today.
Line drive, base hit. How about Mason Honey? Have you a day, big boy. And the run scores. He shot it into right field.
Now running at first base, number 4, Peyton Hill.
Peyton Hill coming in to run for Honey.
The catcher, number 18, Gage Green.
Scrappers have, I hadn't counted them, Scrappers have banged out a bunch of hits today. This is a Fouke team that a few weeks ago never allowed but one runner after the second inning.
Scrappers have 9 hits on the day, and the winning run is on first base.
Gage Green, he's 1 for 2. Scrappers have all of a sudden opened up a 9-run lead. Base hit by Green, and the runner will go to third as Green just pokes it through the hole where the second baseman vacated. Good to see Gage Green have a good day.
Absolutely. Good piece of hit and run right there, too. Peyton Hill was on the move and didn't get hit by the ball running through there, and he'll move to third. And looks like Gage Applegate will come into a courtesy run for
Applegate. Courtesy runs for Gage Green. He comes off with a smile on his face. His last start 2 games ago, Gage had a tough day offensively, and he's had a productive day today. 10th batter is Fritz. Swings and fouls it over the grandstand. If the Scrappers plate the runner at third base, it'll be a 10-run game. It didn't look like it 45 minutes ago, huh, JT?
It sure didn't, no doubt about it.
Big swing and a miss as Applegate goes down to third. Ball outside. And strike 3's called on a pitch that Fritz thought was outside, but he doesn't get the call. But the Scrappers score 5 runs on 4 hits, couple of walks, couple of errors. Scrappers up 9. Banks Ray's going to come in to try to finish it. He'll be the 3rd Scrapper pitcher of the day. Come back and join us. Nashville up 14-5 in this non-conference game. We'll be right back.
Be the first baseman, number 9, Sawyer Jones.
Whitehead and senior Banks Ray tries to close it out as the Scrappers have a 9-run lead. He'll face the first baseman Sawyer Jones. And Ray throws a strike over the outside edge. And he throws another at the same spot, same result. Mike's thrown a few innings this year, played a good defensive second base this year. And he pokes it to short, a little humpback liner. It's slicing back away from Zeus Hutchinson, but he makes the play, 1 up and 1 down. Mike's did just what you want to with a big lead, then you just throw strikes, and at some point they'll get themselves out.
Absolutely.
16, River Dobson.
And a little curveball under the batter's hand for a strike. Banks looks good on the mound after only 4 or 5 pitches. Swinging a foul. I think Banks has a good presence out there on the mound. He looks good to me setting up, JT.
Well, you know, and he's pitched all 4 years he's played, so he's got a lot of experience out there for the Scrappers.
Ball outside as he wastes one on 0-2. We'll have Mason Honey up here and Coach Zach Stewart in the post game when this one's over. Long one into left. Up against the wall as Boone drops back and the batter goes into second. The way Boone was looking, I thought it was going to get out of here, JT. Boone kind of turned and looked. It hit the Scrapper star in left field.
Yeah, hard hit ball there. Luke just couldn't find it and went over his head. But he cleaned it up and got that ball in quickly. Sometimes out there on that fence, if that ball hits that metal fence, it'll kick sideways and runner can get an extra base out of it. But Luke corralled that and kept him to a double.
Here's K.O. Williamson. And a strike by Ray. Williamson started. Panthers have used 3 pitchers. Scrappers have used 3. Ooh, good little slider there, and Williamson swings and misses. He's 0 for 3, reached on an error and been on a fielder's choice. Ray up 0-2. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. Put him away pretty easily there. Ball had a little sink to it, JT.
Yeah, that's a good pitch from Banks right there. You know, there was no chance you were going to hit that ball. It just dove right out at his feet.
This is the 9th base hitter, Josh Porcello. He made the web gem of the day for the Panthers out in left field. High center field, and there comes Hayden Gray, and he puts it away in right center field. Nice inning by Banks, huh?
Absolutely. Banks came in there, had the cleanest inning of the day, and just what the Scrappers needed to finish that game off. And they'll head into Hope on Friday, looking to clean up some of these mistakes, and it'll be an important one because then the week after that doesn't mean a whole lot if you can't clean up on Hope Friday. So
Team shake hands will not be JV today. We're going to take a long break. We'll wait on Coach Stewart and Mason Honey. We'll come up and talk it over with them, talk about today's game, talk about going to Hope, and then don't want to put the cart before the horse, as JT said, but everything's shaping up for a big series versus Arkadelphia. We'll be back for the post game in a couple of minutes. Scrappers win this one non-conference game 14-5 over Fouke. Johnny Wilson and JT Carter had to call for you, and it wasn't always pretty, JT, but Scrappers put it away and really had a nice day offensively.
Yeah, anytime you have 6 errors, that's going to have the coach getting a little upset about that. But you get the win, and that's important. You move in to Friday against Hope, and you pounded out 10 hits, got 14 runs, and had several crooked innings there. So not everything's all bad, but the defense is something he surely wants to clean up.
And the top 2/3 of the batting order did most of the damage. Big days for several. Luke Boone scored 3 runs from a leadoff position. Hayden Gray scored 3, batting second. Carson Kirby, 3, 4, 5, and 6 had the hits. Carson Kirby had 2. Carson Chambers had 3. Mason Honey 3 for 3 with a sacrifice fly. And good to see Gage Green kind of come out of a little slump with 2 hits. And the Scrappers, with a little bit of help from Fouke, plated 14 runs.
Yeah, 14 runs, on 10 hits. Scrappers got the win, and like you say, good to see some of those players get hits there that keep rolling for Carson Chambers, keep getting doubles for Carson Kirby, and Gage Green to get a hit there.
Jaden Goodson got the win. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll talk it over with Coach Stewart. And Mason Honey's coming up. He needs to come up. He had a big day today. He'll be the last senior. We'll take a break as they get ready. We'll be right back in about 30 seconds. All right, I've got Scrapper senior third baseman Mason Honey here. Mason had a big day. I mean, you must have known you were going to be interviewed today. Have yourself a day. 3 for 3, 2 doubles, a sacrifice fly, and a walk, and solid defensive third base. Baseball's a lot of fun to you, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Always come out here, try to do my best, have a lot of fun, just a really good group of guys to have fun with on the field with me, too.
Coach Prairie and I have said, and this is the highest compliment I can give a young man, is that you fit the definition of a baseball player. You may not be the fastest guy out there.
Definitely
you may not
not.
have the best arm out there, but you're absolutely one of the best players. Everything you do, you're in the game intellectually. You're at the right place. You've made 2 or 3 web gems this year. I think the best contact hitter personally that I've on the ball team. I think you're a good baseball player, and I'm really glad to see you have a good senior year.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that. Main thing about being the senior this year is just I try to do my best, lead everybody on the field. Feel like I've been doing a pretty good job. Don't have any problems with anybody on the team, and I mean that's my whole goal. I'm playing good, playing as best I can. It's always great, but whenever I can be a good leader and everybody looks up to me, that's my main goal.
And you can tell that by this team that they get along, play together well, not a lot of selfishness out there. And so this has been a good year for the Scrappers. We had a little slump. Then we go to the Queen and 2 big wins. And if you guys can go to Hope and don't just throw your glove out there, go down there and take care of Hope, it sets up for a fun weekend next week against Arkadelphia.
Yes, sir. And we play how I know the Scrappers could play. It shouldn't be any problem for us to win out in conference and keep moving on from there because I know we can do it. We play solid defense, keep swinging it how we're swinging it right now. Should be able to plow through anybody that we play.
And baseball's your game. Now, you were hurt a little bit. Was it last year or before last?
It was sophomore year, had elbow surgery, and then probably a little beginning to middle of the season last year decided to take a big swing in my hip. So I had to try to take a week off from a hip injury.
But you closed it out good senior year, and like I said, like we talked about, baseball's your game. That's your game.
Yes, sir.
All right, so all of a sudden we're a senior. We're going to graduate here in a month or so. What are your plans after high school?
I think I'm going to go play some junior college ball at National Park with I'll be up there with Aiden Smith and Tyler Brown this next year, so that'll be fun. Get to play with some guys I've been with for a few years down here in Nashville. So if I get to go up there, have some people I know with, and play some more baseball with them, I feel like that would be pretty fun.
That'll be good, and I hope you I hope you get to continue your career up there. But for me and a lot of us, we've enjoyed seeing you play for 4 years, but this year's a long ways from over. So you guys take care of Hope, and then we'll look forward to a big series with Arkadelphia.
Yes, sir. I'll be looking forward too. Thank you for having me.
All right, appreciate it, Mason.
Yes, sir.
That's Scrapper senior third baseman Mason Honey. He had a big day today, 3 for 3. And I've got Coach Zach Stewart up here, and you win 14-5, but there's an old coach's adage, Coach Stewart, that a ugly win is better than a pretty loss. And I'll leave it at that and get your comments.
I guess that's a good point, but I'm going to say that might have been the worst defensive performance in Nashville history. That was not at all our standard. That's not how we practice. That's not how we play. Not good. Now, the good thing about it is it's good to do that in a non-conference game, but I thought we hit the ball well. I thought pitchers did a great job. Pitchers did a great job. I mean, we're throwing 7-8 outs in an inning. That's plenty enough to be able to get out of innings. I think there was maybe one earned run today.
One earned run, and you got to give credit for Jaden Goodson, and it's tough out there. You mentioned you had 2 innings back to back that were 6-out innings, and he ended up giving up only 1 run in those 2 innings. Of course, they were unearned. Only earned run was first run of the day.
First run
got a walk
and
a triple, and so. We can brag on your offense, and like I say, man, Honey was good. First 2/3 of your order, Boone and Gray score 3 runs. Kirby gets 2 hits, Chambers 3, Honey 3, Green 3, and good to see Gage Green. He's been in a little slump.
Yeah,
good to see him get a couple
Yeah,
hits.
absolutely. We had the day off from hitting Tuesday yesterday. We've talked a couple times the last couple weeks, but more recently, a little deeper conversations, and that was something we said, hey, we should take day off, and that's worked in my career. Whenever I was playing, it's worked on a lot of other kids. And hey, let's just take a day off, get away from it, reset the mechanism. And he comes out today. He had 2 or 3 really good barrels, and it was good to see him have that confidence back, that swagger back that he had his sophomore year, that he had to start this year, because he's a leader for us. I mean, he works hard behind the plate. He works hard at practice. He works hard whenever he goes home with the fire department. He works hard all the time. So it's good to see him get rewarded for that work.
Let me ask you one thing, and then we'll have another question too, and we'll let you go. Luke Boone, your starter. Jaden Goodson, your starter. He takes a good shot from a line drive about the second inning.
Yep.
He comes back out and finishes. Do you think he's okay?
He's okay. That's the nice thing about teenage boys, especially, is if you get hit in the thigh and the muscle, you're able to kind of walk that thing off. And I sent him down there. I sent Wallace down there to warm up just in case. And about 1 out into the second inning, he looked over, Coach, I'm good. And he grooved the rest of the time. He had the curveball going, he had the slider going, fastball. We got to kind of command that a little bit better, but he's got really electric stuff as a sophomore. He got a good chewing the other day. He came out and walked and hit a couple, and he coming back and bouncing back, getting a start today, and really doing a really good job for us.
Well, big day Friday in the district. Hopefully it's a big day for the Scrappers. We were here against Hope yesterday. Go down there, show up, play your game, hopefully win that game. Should have a lot of fun in the series next week against Arkadelphia.
Next week will be a lot of fun. We don't like looking forward. We like to go 1-0 every day, whether it be practice or game, whatever we're doing. So we have to take care of Hope first. But next week's gonna be a lot of fun. Us in Arkadelphia. If we win out, conference champions. If they win one game, conference champions. So we got to go take care of business Friday for sure. But next week will be a lot of fun.
And we'll keep an eye on the 2 games, especially Arkadelphia and DeQueen Friday, along with Magnolia and Fairview. They had a good game yesterday. Magnolia came back, beat them 5-3.
Yep.
So Magnolia puts themselves still in the hunt.
Yep.
So, and I think they've got hope next week.
They have hope next week. Now, if DeQueen wins both their games next week, then DeQueen's locked in, no worse than the 3 seed. Magnolia's got to win out just to be the 4 seed. There's a chance that they drop a couple games with Hope or with Camden Friday, that they could even drop out of the playoffs.
All right, Scrappers win this one 14-5. JT, is that right?
That's correct.
14-5. JT will have the call at Hope Friday afternoon. go to Arkadelphia Friday, and then senior night a week from Friday, and hopefully a big one here against Arkadelphia. Want everybody to come out.
Yeah,
Last game at
absolutely.
Wilson Park.
Absolutely, last home game, senior night for these 5 seniors that we've got, and hopefully playing for winner take all conference championship.
And just to comment on you 5 seniors, I always try to get them up here for an interview. Really impressed with all 5 of those young men. They like to play baseball, and that's what they're here for. But really represented themselves, their parents, and their school well, talking to me. And so,
Absolutely. You know, there's not many 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old boys that you can take and spend. We've already spent 5 nights in a hotel and not have one issue. We haven't had one issue all year with anything, even in the classroom. I mean, we're talking about, you talked about our 5-game losing streak, and there wasn't anything. It wasn't effort. It was just there was no nagging at each other. There was no arguments with each other. It was just we just weren't playing very good baseball. And that all starts with seniors. I mean, if your seniors are good leaders, the 5 of them are good leaders, then the rest of those guys, those freshmen, those sophomores, juniors, they're going to follow suit.
they fall in line.
That's right. And so, I mean, to be able to just to be able to go and spend the night 5 times and not have one issue, I mean, that speaks for high quality for how they were raised, how they carry themselves. So I'm really proud of that.
All right, we're going to let you go. Scrappers win it 14-5. They go to Hope Friday. JT will have the call for you Friday at 5. Hopefully the Scrappers will go to Arkadelphia Tuesday, looking to try to get right back toward first place in this conference championship. So for JT Carter, for Johnny Wilson, the YouTube live stream, the Scrappers win this one 14-5, non-conference game over the Fouke Panthers. Good afternoon.